In this video, I'm transforming every Star Wars character into the fantasy theme. We've got Obi-Wan, we've got Anakin, and we even have Darth Vader. So, let's not waste any more time and jump right in. First up is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sir Obi-Wan is a Knight of the Blade, the most revered order of warriors in the realm, a master of both sword and virtue. He rides from kingdom to kingdom, delivering justice where the law has failed. His name alone is enough to strike fear into the wicked and bring hope to the oppressed. Yet, as war looms on the horizon, he must face the greatest test of his honor, choosing between duty to the order or protecting the brother he once called family. His torso and legs are from the Dragonborn Paladin. I also gave him a white cape and some silver armor. He also has a sword and a magical shield. Second is Anakin Skywalker. Anakin is a warrior unlike any other. A prodigy of battle, unmatched in skill, but still unworthy of the Blade's highest honor. His unorthodox methods and reckless defiance make him a legend on the battlefield, but a challenge among his peers. While others see a swordsman too wild to control, he sees the order as too rigid to change. Yet deep down, Anakin longs to prove himself, not only to his fellow knights, but to the master who raised him. I give him this torso from the Roman commander. He also has this grey cape from the Mandalorian and these shoulder pads. To show his aggressive fighting style, I gave him a sword and a battle axe. And here is what Anakin became, Darth Vader. When the world abandoned Anakin, he abandoned the world. Encased in blackened armor, his voice like the grinding of tombstones. Vader, the Black Tyrant, rules with iron will and merciless strength. Kingdoms fall to his blade and his armies march unchallenged, for none dare defy the monster he has become. Yet, within the steel prison of his body, a single ember of his former self still flickers, waiting to be reignited or snuffed out forever. These amazing legs are from this version of Lord Garmadon. Then, he just has some black armor, a cape, and a helmet. His head is from this fire demon. Finally, I gave him this amazing magical black sword from Lego Chima. Next up is Ahsoka. The daughter of an outcast warrior, Ahsoka walks the road alone. A twin-bladed wanderer with no kingdom, no master, only the call for adventure. Her blue katanas gleam like the moon, striking down tyrants and warlocks alike. Yet, she swears loyalty to none. They call her the Blue Phantom, a name spoken in awe by the oppressed and in fear by those who seek to rule them. Her legs are from Doctor Strange and her torso is from this Shuri. She also has a blue cape and an orange tail from a tiefling. For her weapons, I gave her two blue katanas to represent her two lightsabers. And this is Han Solo. There isn't a castle he hasn't slipped into, or a royal treasury he hasn't stolen from. A sellsword, a smuggler, a gambler. He is all and none of these things, bound only by his own rules. With his enchanted crossbow, the Falcon's bolt, and his unwavering luck, he roams the lands in search of fortune and trouble. I gave him the legs from this warlock, and a flipped torso from Doctor Strange. Then, I added a brown satchel and some fierce-looking shoulder pads. To his crossbow, I also added a poisoned dagger. Of course, we can't have Han Solo without Chewbacca. However, in my world, they went their separate ways. Chewbacca, a towering beast of fur and fury, is the last of the Forest Wardens, sworn protectors of the Greatwood realm. Few understand his ancient tongue, but none can deny the raw power of his strength. With his colossal battle axe in hand, he stands between civilization and the monstrous horrors lurking in untamed wilds. His legs are from this Korg minifigure. Then, he just has his regular pieces with the addition of a brown cape. For his weapons, I gave him this special crossbow and a mighty battle axe. Next on the list is Darth Maul. Born in the scourged lands of the Red Wastes, Maul was trained from childhood in pain, raised by the cult of a forgotten god. His crimson twin blade is said to drink the souls of those it slays, and his rage is an inferno that cannot be quenched. No king can bribe him, no army can stop him. He lives only for vengeance, for blood, and for the whispers of the darkness that guide his hand. I give him the legs from the Stone Army warrior and the torso from this Dragon Knight. He also has a red and black cape from the Evil Queen and a shoulder piece from Dragon's Rising Kai. And here we have Jar Jar Binks. Once a carefree warrior known for his foolish antics and endless laughter, Jar Jar's life was shattered when his entire clan was slaughtered by raiders. Gone is the bumbling fool. Now, a feared lone warrior walks the land, his spear swift and merciless. Clad in war-torn armor, he protects the weak and hunts those responsible for his people's deaths. The laughter that once defined him is gone, replaced by the silent promise of vengeance. His legs are from the Dungeons & Dragons elf bard, and his torso is from the Aarakocra archer. To make him look more menacing, I also added a cape from the druid and brown shoulder pads. For his accessories, he has a long spear and a forestman shield. As a bonus minifigure, we have this undead adventurer, who was requested by this fan. Thank you so much for your comment and support. If you would like me to make your minifigure next, then write your ideas in the comments down below. Those of you who already wrote a suggestion in one of my previous videos, don't worry, your minifigures will be made in my next video. This undead adventurer was once a noble knight who fell defending a doomed kingdom. He rose from the grave not as a vengeful wraith, but as an immortal protector. Though flesh has withered from his bones, his duty has never faltered. Clad in ancient armor, his skeletal fingers grasp two katanas that burn with spectral fire. His hollow eyes ever watching for those who prey upon the innocent. He does not seek glory nor vengeance, only redemption for a world he once failed to save. Unfortunately, I do not have the torso and legs you wanted, so I had to use these from Cersei, but I hope you still like it. Luke Skywalker. A humble stable boy from the sun-scorched village of Larstead, Luke discovers enchanted blades once wielded by his legendary father, a fallen knight. Guided by an old mage named Ben, he sets out to learn the ways of the light, unaware that his destiny is tied to the Dark Lord who rules the Empire and shares his blood. His torso is from the Vikings and his legs are from the D&D Witch. He also has a green cape from Loki. Second is Mace Windu. A High Lord of the Order of the Violet Flame, Mace is renowned for his unbreakable discipline and mastery of battle magic. With his violet club forged from dragonfire, he stands as the realm's last line against the rising tide of shadow sorcery, unyielding even when the kingdom falters from within. His legs are from Ninjago crystallized and his purple cape is from Agatha. For his weapon, he has a purple club from the Orion. And this is Count Dooku. A noble-born sorcerer and tactician, Dooku turned from the Ivory Order after declaring its council blind and cowardly. Bearing the crimson rune sword Tyrannus, he now leads a cult of warlocks and broken knights in a bid to reshape the realm beneath his refined, merciless will. Both his torso and legs are from the Stone Army. Then he just has a massive sword from Chima. Next on the list, we have Captain Rex. Forged in the vats of Camino Keep, Captain Rex was bred to be an obedient knight of the Mage Lords, identical in face to thousands, but unique in soul. As war tests the limits of loyalty, he begins to question the spell that bind him and carves a path of honor that defies his creators. Most of his parts are from the Dungeons & Dragons Dragonborn Paladin, but I replaced his hands and added a blue cape. And here is Commander Cody. Commander of the 212th Legion, Cody serves with unwavering discipline, leading countless crusades under the Republic's banner. Yet, when cursed orders from the Mage Council forced his hands against his own brethren, he became a tragic figure, remembered not for betrayal but for broken faith. His legs are from Tin Man, and his armor is from the D&D Dragonborn Paladin. Next up is Qui-Gon Jinn. Once a respected archer of the Circle, Qui-Gon broke from the rigid order to follow the deeper voice of the world spirit. Wandering the wilds as a mystic guide, he trains a young warrior who may one day save or doom the kingdom he left behind. His legs are from Disloid and his torso and cape are from the D&D Druid. He also has a dual blade made from jade blades. And this is Palpatine. Once a cloaked advisor in the court of Naboo, the man now called Palpatine mastered soul binding and mirror magic to ensnare the minds of kings. From his obsidian throne, he weaves a web of lies and puppets, seeking to blot out the light and become God Emperor of all known lands. I gave him Garmadon's torso as well as a furry cape and some spiky shoulder pads. Then he has a staff and some lightning magic. And here we have the Mandalorian. A wandering sellsword bound by an ancient warrior's creed, the Mandalorian never removes his helm and speaks little but strikes with precision of a ghost. His heart begins to shift when he spares a strange child marked by prophecy, drawing the ire of bounty guilds and sorcerers alike. His torso and legs are both from the Dragonborn Paladin, but I added a grey cape from the Mandalorian as well as a knight helmet and some armor. And here is a bonus minifigure which came from this comment. Thank you so much for writing it. This is the Void Knight. Once a proud knight of the Dawn Banner, he fell in battle against a war mage whose dying curse bound his armor to his flesh and filled his veins with arcane corruption. Slaying the mage and absorbing their power, his skin turned a glowing violet, and the once golden steel now pulsed with void light. Ashamed and feared, he wandered the realm seeking a cure, but as years passed, he began to wield his cursed strength to protect the innocent, becoming a myth in the shadows, the knight who walks between darkness and light. His legs are from coal and his torso is from the Mind Flare. Then I added some black shoulder pads and this purple head from the Overlord, as well as a sword from the CMF Barbarian. First up is Carrion, the sole survivor of his people. The lone survivor of the Rontar tribe, he carries the ancient war axe of his ancestors, roaming the lands seeking vengeance against those who wiped out his kin. He is both a warrior and a relic of a forgotten age. To build him, I used these Viking legs and the torso, tail and head from the Triceratops costume CMF. I also gave him some brown shoulder pads, an axe, a shield and a spear which I attached to his back. Second, we have the Elemental Master of Shattering, Dane the Breaker. Blessed or cursed with the ability to fracture anything at will, Dane can shatter stone, armor and even magic barriers. Exiled from his homeland for his uncontrollable power, he seeks revenge on everyone who wronged him. I gave him the legs and head from one of the Stone Army warriors. His torso is from coal and I switched out their arms for red. To finish the look, I gave him these shoulder pads from the Ninjago skeletons, a horn hair from the Tiefling and a custom blade and a red crystal piece. And here is an elven detective, Sylvan Nightshade. A master of deduction and ancient elven magic, Sylvan investigates crime in the bustling city of Eldoria. With a keen eye and an enchanted bow that reveals hidden truths, he hunts down criminals, both mortal and supernatural. His torso and legs are from this Mad Eye Moody. He also has a brown shoulder piece and a katana harness. The head and hair are from the Warlock. And finally, his bow is from Avatar. And here is a Witcher-like character which I named Kyle Draven. A monster slayer for hire, Kyle wields an enchanted blade forged from dragon steel. Cursed with longevity, he walks the land hunting abominations while grappling with the weight of his past and searching for peace. I took these legs from Anakin and this torso from one of the Shang-Chi villains. I gave him this head from Barty Crouch Jr. and the hair from Dumbledore. For his weapon, he has a simple sword. And here is a dark mage who controls shadows, Morven the Veiled. Once a scholar of the arcane, Morven delved too deep into forbidden magic, becoming a conduit for the Shadow Realm. He weaves darkness like a living entity, bending it to his will. But each spell draws him closer to losing his soul. His legs are from Garmadon, and he has a flip torso from Snape, as well as a black cape, a hood, and some shoulder pads. I chose this head from LEGO Dreams, and I gave him a crystal staff. And here we have the Elemental Master of Dark Magic, Dominic the Abyssborn. Born under an eclipse, Dominic was infused with dark elemental energy. Feared and misunderstood, he wielded the power to corrupt and decay, drawing energy from the void itself. His greatest battle is not with others, but with his own darkness. This amazing ghost piece, the torso and the head are all from the Overlord. He also has a purple cape, some black shoulder pads and a mask, as well as some black hair. For his accessories, I gave him a magical sword and a magic piece. Next up, we have a male version of the Scarlet Witch, Magnus the Hexborn, a warlock of chaos magic. Magnus can reshape reality with a flick of his hand. Once a pawn of a secretive order, he broke free to forge his own path, one where fate is his to command, and his enemies fear what he may become. I took these legs from Wildfire and this torso from Kai. His cape and these red magic pieces are from Zastam from the D&D CMF. Finally, as requested, he has the hair and head from the Elf Bard. Next up is the elemental phantom of poison, fire and thunder, Rin the Plaguebringer. A spectral enforcer of the Black Knight, Rin is a walking cataclysm. He leaves poisoned lands, burning ruins, and storms of death in his wake. Bound by an ancient curse, he is doomed to spread destruction until the end of time. I took the ghost beast and torso from one of the Ninjago ghosts, and I gave him an orange arm, some black shoulder pads, some purple wings, and a hat. This amazing hat is from this Nexonite's Jestro minifigure. Finally, I gave him a lightning and a fire magic piece. And here we have an evil ninja, Ronin Kuro. Once an honorable warrior, Ronin betrayed his clan for forbidden power. Now he prowls the shadows, his blade cursed with the souls of his fallen enemies. His only goal to prove that power is greater than honor. As requested, I gave him the legs and head from the Evil Jay and the torso from the Wolf Mask Warrior. He also has the shoulder pads and hood from Climber Cole and a black sword. And for our final minifigure, we have Malachar, the Death Hunter. Born into a poor but happy family, Malachar's world shattered when his mother died of the Black Plague. Soon after, demons and the undead razed his village, leaving him the sole survivor. He spent years training to fight, but true power came when he was struck by shadow magic, cursing him with the ability to slay the undead. Clad in a nearly indestructible armor, Malachar formed the Shadow Clan, training orphans of the fallen to become hunters. Now he roams the land, hunting the creatures that once took everything from him, ensuring no one else suffers as he did. He has these legs from the Storm Army and a black torso with Mind Flayer arms. He also has some black armor and a helmet from Basil the Batlord. As his weapons, he wields 2 custom shadow blades. I tried my best to make the minifigures exactly as you asked, but for some I did not have all of the pieces, so I had to improvise. But I hope you still liked the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Be sure to let me know who I should transform next. Write your suggestions in the comments down below. If you want to see more from me, then just click on one of the videos on the screen.